Well, this morning, a parade in downtown Springdale, like we were mentioning, will kick off the 82nd year of the Rodeo of the Ozarks.
Yeah, so all of us right now at Parsons Stadium in Springdale. That's where we find 5 News reporter Claire Everbach with what we can expect this year. Hey, Claire.
Well, hey, good morning. We have some very special guests to introduce you to for Rodeo of the Ozarks today. This friend is Princess. She's a 24-year-old horse. She's very friendly, very calm, and we're actually very lucky to be joined by Amanda Anthony right now. She's going to answer a few questions for us about Princess. So, Amanda, tell us, how long have you owned this horse? How long have you been riding her?
So I've had her since she was 2. I started riding her probably when she was around 14 or 15, actually to use her for rounders. And I tried her on barrels, and I tried her on just about anything you can imagine, but the only thing that she ever cared for was rounders.
So tell us a little bit more about what's going to be happening this evening and throughout the next few days at the rodeo.
So as rounders, we act as ambassadors for the rodeo, so we help introduce the rodeo and carry our sponsor flags throughout the rodeo. And we also put on a halftime act. We're a high precision, high speed drill team. So come out and see us.
So Princess has been doing this for multiple years. She's probably an expert by now. What would you say her best skill is as a horse?
I would say that even when I mess up, she saves the day every single time. And I do mess up a lot.
So obviously the rodeo is a very popular event for people, not just in Springdale, but all across Northwest Arkansas. People come in town for the rodeo. What keeps you coming back here?
It's really just the community. People come from all walks of life and are enjoying the same thing at the same time. And it's really a great community builder for the city of Springdale.
All right, Amanda, thank you. Well, as she said, all sorts of things are going to be going on at the rodeo, and these horses are definitely going to make a few appearances. I think I'm going to take Princess right now and take her for a ride of my own around the arena. Back to you.
We want to ride.
I know. All right, we're going to switch gears here at 6:35. So other news, we're learning that Arcoma has put its chief of police and assistant chief of police on paid leave.
Yeah, we've not been given a reason as to why, but the city council said that it planned to go into executive session to make a decision on the, quote, employment discipline or resignation of the chief and deputy chief. But they were told that they had not written a motion correctly. Instead, they voted to put Chief Michael Ivey and Deputy Chief Mallory Speaks on leave for 2 weeks.
We're not going to go into personnel matters and what the issues were at this time. If the chief wants to tell you those things, he can. But we want to give everybody, every employee, their due process and a chance to answer questions. We would not want to just throw something at them and say, well, here, deal with this.
The mayor was asked if embezzlement was involved in the issue, but said that he was not aware of any missing city funds. Chief Ivey declined to give comment last night, and the council is expected to discuss the matter at its July 7th meeting.
Well, the man convicted of killing and dismembering his ex-girlfriend Allison Castro, will spend the rest of his life in prison.
But he will not face the death penalty. A Washington County jury sentenced Casey Jennings on Tuesday, one day after finding him guilty in the death of Allison Castro. Prosecutors had asked for the death penalty, but after hours of deliberation, jurors chose life.
There's some relief knowing that Casey will be gone in prison forever. And like my mom was saying, Allie lives on in all of us.
Jennings was also sentenced to an additional 22 years in prison and fined $30,000 for charges including abuse of a corpse, theft, and tampering with evidence.
Now, while Allison's family says they can begin to move on, her mother says she's on a mission to recover her daughter's remains and honor her memory.
I'm going to continue my mission, which is, participating in this community with blood drives and cleanup, second day, whatever it takes to, keep Allison's memory alive, because I will still be in this community. Maybe not so far as looking for justice, because in my eyes, it's done.
Now you can find all of our past coverage of this case. That's at 5newsonline.com. And authorities are sharing some new details about a shooting at a California public library.
Police believe that the teenage suspect planned an attack inspired by the Columbine just days after his own graduation. 2 people were killed, a third injured. Bradley Blackburn has more.
In Chico, California, the quiet of a public library was ripped apart by gunfire. Police say an active shooter was reported in the building just after 5 p.m. Monday.
We had an open 911 line that you could hear gunshots and people screaming.
Within minutes, law enforcement entered the library and arrested the suspected shooter, 18-year-old Bradley Scott Sayer. They say he's a recent graduate from the local high school. He was wearing a white T-shirt with a phrase handwritten on it, similar to one worn by one of the Columbine shooters. Authorities believe he was inspired by the nearly 30-year-old Colorado attack.
He did a walkthrough without a weapon first, right? Left his car, went inside the library, did a walkthrough. Then he came back to his vehicle, opened his trunk, and took out his shotgun.
Authorities say he fatally shot 2 adults in their heads, 46-year-old Jacob Cody Ho and 74-year-old Robert Johnson. A young child was injured and a teenage girl also had minor injuries from broken glass and was taken to the hospital.
People go here for fun, and it's mostly kids, and we're reading, trying to get knowledge, or going on the computer. You're not expecting someone coming in there and just shooting at people.
Tuesday night, the community gathered outside the library to honor the victims and grieve. The suspect is set to appear in court Thursday and faces 2 counts of first-degree murder. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Well, the Senate has passed a war powers resolution by a margin of 50 to 48.
Yeah, 4 Republicans joined Senate Democrats Tuesday to approve the measure previously passed by the House. It blocks President Trump from ordering U.S. troops to take any military action against Iran unless Congress declares war or authorizes the use of force. But the approval is only symbolic because it doesn't have the force of law. In Pennsylvania, the president spoke about the agreement with Iran that negotiators are now finalizing. The conflicts remain about who will control the Strait of Hormuz and Iran's nuclear program, though the president remains confident.
We're leaving them without any nuclear capacity, and they've agreed to that, and we're getting along quite well.
Later today, the president meets with the Secretary General of NATO.